Good morning, David Hall here. Another day in the life video here. Leaving East Lansing, just left a house that I'm going to be listing here in a couple weeks. Met with the seller before, went over pricing and all of that. Today we signed the contract and went over all of the listing information. She is doing some repairs to the home before we list it, so photos are next week, and then we'll be listing it the week after that. So, all right, here in this potential flip here that I was looking at, and there's some red flags here that are going to make me probably pass on it, but there's some things I wanted to share that that are good as well. So this discoloration here on the wall is normal. It means that there's some moisture coming through though, so I'd look at the outside to see if you can fix the grading. Not a big deal. So here's a pro. You want to see the green stickers everywhere. That means that stuff was approved in our city here. If it does not have a green sticker and you're going to rent it, the chances of you getting in trouble are high. You'd have to pull a permit. People don't like pulling permits for work they didn't do. So you have to spend a lot of money and not really get any added value if you don't see those green stickers. So things I like to see: PEX. PEX plumbing is a plus. Things I don't like to see: this looks like galvanized plumbing. I'm not sure why that's not PEX as well, but things I like to see: new duct work. Things I don't like to see, I don't know if you can tell here, is less than desirable. So having in a shallow basement is not something that the average person is going to want to stick with for a long time. So in my experience, that means potentially more turnover for tenants, and that's not ideal. So things I like to see: updated furnace, always a plus. Things I don't like to see: I don't know if you can tell here in the video, but how jacked up this floor is. So big mound of concrete there, lots of cracks, big cracks even over there. So one of the things with this home, that there was potential foundation issues or settling, potential issues or settling. So you can see big crack, some shims here trying to get that level, more shims and things over there. So here, I was hoping this house would be, it's in a good area and it's a good price, and they said that it has potential foundation issues. So sometimes that could mean a $10,000 issue, sometimes that can mean a $50,000 issue. So it was worth coming to check to see if it was a $10,000 issue and you could get it for half price of what the market value would be once it was fixed up. Maybe it's worth pursuing. So this one, the agent told me as I pulled in the driveway that they had accepted an offer already, but I still wanted to come take a look just in case to see what I can see. And I've decided that I don't think this is for me. One thing I also noticed in the pictures is it has vinyl windows. It has vinyl plank flooring, even though it's not, it's kind of coming apart here. I don't know if you can see. So in the pictures it looks good. In person, not quite as good. Vinyl windows are a plus, lots of approvals. They said that it just got its approval for the city, so it's a licensed rental. So the upswing for me on this one is try to fix the foundation issue and get it for a discount. But it's off the market anyway, so not gonna pursue it, or not able to pursue it. But and look here, so this is another landlord special here. Let me see if I can find the lights in here. So when you see, so I've been putting in tile showers in all of my rentals and flips lately because this just doesn't hold up. This cheap plastic film here, you can see that they put it over tile. So that is kind of a crappy way of doing it. And then you just caulk the seams and call it good. So it's just a matter of time before this caulk goes bad and starts leaking. And you don't realize it's leaking and says, hey, there's water pouring through the ceiling underneath. That could take days, weeks, months, years of just water piling up in the ceiling downstairs, and that can cause big issues. So always worth just paying the extra money, getting the shower done right, and then also tenants like it better. But how much this is leaning, but the whole house is kind of crooked due to the basement foundation issues. So I do these checks probably, I don't know, once or twice a week, walking through deals, trying to figure out if there's potential opportunity. Certain things I'm looking for. You want a house with all the right things wrong with it, right? So something that can be easily fixed, Something that, like I bought a house, two houses side by side. One of them looked pretty and had paint and flooring. The other one looked ugly but had a new furnace and a new roof. So I went with the new furnace, new roof. I did paint and flooring myself on that one and was able to double the value compared to the other one that already looked pretty. Your bigger bang for your buck is buying a house that has good bones, good foundation, all the mechanics good, and then doing the cosmetic stuff yourself, which is going to be a lot cheaper than buying something that looks better in pictures but has all bad mechanics, needs a foundation, needs a roof, those types of things. So try to find the properties that have the right things wrong with it, mainly the cheap, easy cosmetic things that need to be done, and all the big things are fixed already. This particular one, I was hoping, since it looked good in the pictures, more cosmetic work has been done. I was hoping that the big issue might not be as big, but again, it's already under contract and the floors are all super wonky, so I don't think it's a good one for me. All right, here we are, stop number 14. Just kidding, I don't know what it is. But so I have a flip here on Lenore that has sold maybe 3 times and it's under contract again. First 2 times, it was the buyer issue. And so now the 3rd time I'm hoping it goes through. Every time I get my hopes up, and then they come crashing down again. It's a great house. Beautifully refinished hardwood floors. All my staging furniture is out of here because we were supposed to close. Had to move it to the next house that I flipped, and then this one fell apart. So here we are again. But the holding cost is something to always consider when you're flipping houses. So let's say you buy a house for 60, you put 20 into it, so that's 80, and you're going to sell it for 110, let's say. So that's 30,000 that you'd make after your closing costs and agency commissions and things like that. Maybe you'll walk away with 20, which is great. So if your holding costs, I use private lenders. So all of the deals that I do, I borrow money from people just like you that have some extra money that they want to put to work and get a better return than they're getting in the stock market or better return than they're getting at their local bank. So they give it to me, I buy houses, flip them, and then sell them. And when I sell the house, I pay back my investors. So the issue with some of these houses that sit on the market or go on, go off, especially in this time of year. So right now it's January 2023. And the issue with this time of year, just things move a little slower. So if it's costing me $1,000 a month in interest or in holding costs as far as accumulating interest to that investor, I just had this happen on 2 of my flips that I sold and I didn't get a check at closing. All the money went to my investor. So I want to keep them happy first and foremost. But with these flips, you always want to make sure that you're calculating your holding costs. Because like I was saying, $1,000 a month. This one I had budgeted on maybe 3 months of vacancy. So that's $3,000 a month, let's say. So in that scenario of the 60, 80, 110, I would have made 20. But if I held it for 3 months, let's say now I only make 17. All right. But this one I had listed, I think in June, and now it's January. Had 2 deals come in, fall apart. So that's an extra 6 months of holding costs. So now the numbers aren't accurate for this property. I'm just giving you a kind of a make-believe example, but this is real life and how things happen sometimes. So instead of making 20,000, I'd make 17 if it took 3 months. But if this one took an extra 6 months because of holding costs and things falling apart with buyer after buyer, now I'm only going to make 11. So to flip a whole house and make $11,000 is not a very successful business plan because it just takes a lot of mental energy to do these flips. So if you're thinking about flipping, make sure that you never ever underestimate what your holding costs are going to be. And I say you should probably overestimate how much your holding costs are going to be because if something's going to change, you want you to end up making more money than less money on a deal because that's a nice surprise. But again, shout out to all my investors. Thanks for your help on this one, all the other ones that I was able to complete last year. Looking forward to some of the ones that I'm getting under contract this year. So if you're thinking about maybe investing in real estate and you're not exactly sure what to do, or if you have some excess money and you're sick of losing it all to the stock market or watch it slowly be eaten away by inflation, give me a call and we can talk more about flipping, investing, buy and holds, or if you want to be completely hands off, we have opportunities for you to put your money to work too. So give me a call.